A blank page can be really, really scary. Sometimes I surprise myself with just how embarrassed I can get to create something I know will be bad. Blank pages scare me because I'm afraid that I won't make something good, something pretty, or worth showing to someone. I recently got this comment from someone on one of my videos. They shared some really good things about sticking with the process and to not compare your work to others. Then they mentioned this artist, Marie Noelle Worm, and a series she has about creating bad or ugly art. I checked it out and was quite inspired. So I decided to do a similar little practice in my own sketchbook to just let the camera roll and create something that I know will probably not be good. To just mess around with the paint and let my brain and my hand just connect and create something random.
It's like making something ugly is everyone's worst fear. So, what if instead of running away from that, we lean into it?
I'm going to be honest, I haven't really been in my sketchbook very recently. It's been a little bit ignored and just a place I haven't felt free to express my creativity in. I think my own judgment has been weighing heavy on me lately as far as painting, and I think I I think I have a hard time painting when there's not a prompt. And so I constantly find myself looking up pictures or videos of other people painting and just reference photos and random stuff that I want to paint. And I have a really hard time painting from my brain, from my head, from memory. Yeah, I'm really scared to paint, but I just sort of want to start somewhere. So I decided to use this really pretty red color. It's like kind of a burnt orange red situation going on. And yeah, I mixed up some red and green, maybe thinking I might do something Christmassy, but I think I just wanted to start with some shapes and maybe do something organic like some fruits and vegetables. I've been drawing apples and tomatoes recently, and I think I'm trying to do tomatoes, but they kind of turn into apples, which is fine. I'm gonna switch into some green now, and I do find myself at this point feeling judgmental already, like even from that first drop that I dripped on the wrong page. Like it's hard not to get in my head about it. I think what I'm wanting to do is just create something like, again, kind of like organic shapes and wispy drawings. I don't know. I think it's difficult for me to, again, it's difficult for me to um let myself just mess around and mess up. And I think this is a good practice because sometimes the colors bleed and you can't really predict where they're going to go or what it's going to look like. Especially with watercolor, I feel like it is it is forgiving, but a lot of people talk about how it's not forgiving and how it'll just go random places and you can't control it. And it's funny because I have been painting watercolor for years and I do like freelance paintings, and I'm much better than what this looks like and what this shows I can do. It's embarrassing, I think, to let yourself just play. And for someone like me who thrives in my painting, I thrive with having a prompt and having a reference photo. And so having nothing, this is like, it's kind of embarrassing to watch myself do this. But I think the process of letting yourself play and just letting the brush roam can be really freeing. And, you know, you don't have to show it to anyone, of course. I think it can feel a lot safer when you're not showing it to someone. But I think that there is a little bit of freedom in showing the work that you know isn't good and showing work that isn't perfect or hasn't been vetted by you, or I don't know. I think it can be freeing to be vulnerable and to show up and create something that is just sort of blah. Because to some people, it might not be blah. Someone might look at this and think that it's beautiful and think that there is, technique and intention when I'm just sort of goofing off and really having no idea what I'm doing. I think that it takes a lot of bravery to expose yourself and your less good paintings or your process or your lack of technique. I think that letting yourself just play and have fun and really trying to have fun in the process can make you a better artist when you're making a piece that has high stakes and when you're making a commission or making something as a gift. I think if you've allowed yourself to goof off and mess up in another space, then it actually can give you more confidence. At least I've noticed that a bit in my process when I've allowed myself to do something like this, a process where I'm just not really caring what's happening. It's not really important to me. I can mess up and I can just flip the page and let all the colors bleed together and it wouldn't bother me at all. I think that a practice like this can be really healthy and can allow me to actually show up as a better artist, which I think is really cool. So I decided to pause on the right side and swap over to the left and create something different. So on this side, I have grabbed a Micron pen and I'm just going to do some scribbling. I don't really know what this is or what this will be, but I'm just gonna just let myself goof off and let it be what it is. And so I'm doing some squiggles and just some random blobs and drawing. And I'm intrigued with this little red splotch that I dropped when I picked up my brush on the right side. So I'm gonna take this pen that I know doesn't have a lot of ink and just run it through the paint splotch and just see what happens. And it looks weird, but it's part of the process, It doesn't have to look like anything because, yeah, let's just exit out. These are sort of some little um, leaves, maybe some sea kelp, perhaps. And not that I've ever drawn sea kelp before. I don't know, but this is my classic iris. I always draw art irises. I don't know when I started drawing them, but I just taught myself a simple way to draw an iris, and it's kind of one of my go-to drawings. I can't say that I think I'm great at them, but it is nice to have something that I know how to draw from nothing. I put some blue, kind of a teal color, and I am turning this into sort of a sea kelp situation. Yeah, it's interesting. Like looking at my work from above is honestly so different than when I'm looking at it from the side when I'm drawing it. It's kind of cool to see it from above. I think it looks better from above than it does on the side when I'm painting. I'm adding some purple into my iris. I've mixed the blue from the sea kelp in with the red from the apples, and we are making this nice dark lavender situation. Yeah. Gonna fill in the green of the stem and bring some green over to this one. Just see what happens. It's cool to watch a painting come to life if you've laid some ink down first, in contrast to the ones on the right, where I just started with the paint. It's kind of fun to lay the groundwork for yourself. It kind of feels like coloring in a coloring page versus having to come up with what you're doing on your own. as you're doing it. I really like to draw things first and then paint them and color them in, so to speak. I think it can be a little bit more guiding, and just the stakes are a little bit less high. Gonna do some little blueberries over here. I'm gonna go back over to the fruits and veggies side and just draw some little berries, let them come to life, not trying to make them perfectly circle like the apple above, but just let them be a little bit more uneven and imperfect. I had the idea to take the blue and continue in with this asparagus situation. Um, and yeah, just see what happens there. I'm adding some depth and shadow to these little snap peas, maybe like a green bean type of thing. And my asparagus looks very non-asparagus-y. It kind of looks like a wrapped Christmas tree now that I'm seeing it from above. I am adding some definition to this apple. I was gonna go in with this shadow, and I think I didn't wait long enough for the um the the paint on the apple to dry before I went in with the shadow. And I kind of should have left it like right here, but I kept going with the water and sort of diluted it a bit more to the point where that left side of the apple feels a lot more real and like organic and like it should be that way. And then the right side, obviously, I splotched it. And so now it's just, yeah, not going how I would have wanted it to, but we're learning technique, and I think I knew that would happen when I was doing that, but just decided to go with it and just let it happen, and not judge my work too much. Just add some more yellow on the side, and um, just give it some depth and some color, I guess. So now I'm going to give these little guys some labels. I'm going to put what they are, or sort of what they are. I've got an apple. This one's going to be a blueberry and snap pea, sort of, asparagus, pear, more apples. We will just kind of label them. I do really like this type of art where there's like from above, like fruits and vegetables or different textiles of sorts, and they're labeled to show what they are. It feels kind of like those posters that have, yeah, just like the veggies on them for like seasonal ones and stuff, and then they're labeled. I like those types of pieces, paintings and stuff you see on Instagram or Pinterest. It's kind of fun to recreate those. So that's sort of what I did here. And then who really knows what's on the left? I feel just I don't really know what it is, but I I am sticking with it because it's part of the process, part of the process of just letting whatever you make be okay. Thanks for joining me again today and for watching me do a little bit of painting and drawing in my sketchbooks. I think that letting your art be bad and be ugly and just take its own shape can be so healthy, and removing the pressure of having to make something beautiful or perfect, or perfect sketchbook vibe is just, yeah, that's just not really real. I think curating your art can be really spectacular and a really great way to be creative too, but sometimes this is what being creative looks like for the day. This is what art looks like. And I think letting it have its airtime, letting your bad work have its airtime is so important. So yeah, thanks for joining me. Definitely go watch Marie Noelle Worm's videos. They are really cool and they're so well done, and the way she speaks is just so soft and easy to listen to and encouraging. So yeah, go give her a watch if you'd like. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to subscribe and follow along. I'll be making more videos about my creative process and my journey to reigniting my creativity in the year 2025. So, yeah, thanks for joining, you guys. Have a great rest of the day.